All right, we got to do a new thing. We got to clap.
What do you mean clap?
Start. Just clap. But at the same time.
1, 2, 3.
Wait.
Oh my God, I got lost. Don't confuse me.
1, 2, 3. Oh, perfect. That was perfect.
Jesus.
It's gonna help us out.
My microphone.
Messa fuori, c'è Pirlo, ancora Pirlo di tacco,
The referee should never have given the second, the straight red. Roma is missing the wing that they had last year.
Well,
Salah. If you don't beat Crotone like this, it's mental.
Wow.
I don't know who he is.
It looks like Nainggolan.
Oh my God. Does not look like Nainggolan. How are we gonna start this?
Yeah. Okay.
Started the right way. You know, just go ahead.
Antonio, you want to start it?
I don't know. I didn't watch the game. I mean, if I would be the one watching the game, just saw the highlights, and you guys watched the game. Thank God I didn't watch the game, because I would have been out of my skin.
This dampened Roma's result.
I would have killed somebody. I would have gone probably to the game and taken the ref and just murder the ref.
You're gonna go to jail, Antonio.
I don't know.
Only Antonio can make me laugh at this moment where I really do not want to laugh. I feel emotionally beaten to death after what we witnessed today. I saw one of the greatest comebacks. We're talking about Juventus now. Juventus just ended for us today. I saw one of the greatest comebacks from Juventus that I was very nervous if it was going to be the Juventus that really came back and did it. And I got to admit, the first half was perfect. I mean, you score in the first minute. Mandzukic, key to the match. Allegri got everybody perfectly. Real Madrid looked very nervous in the back. Then you go to 3-0 up. And to me, they were handling the match very well. And
oh man, Juve did everything
the last
right, guys.
minute.
Juve did everything right.
When was the third goal scored?
60th minute.
Ooh.
60th minute, Matuidi scored the third goal.
Left. There was a half an hour.
And
after that, what happened? The Juventus just stepped back a little bit, started to wait on the midfield.
Not really. The last like 10-15 minutes, Real Madrid started picking up.
They did step back a little bit.
That's Allegri. Allegri's.
All right, listen. Allegri pulled off 3-0 when nobody was thinking 3-0, and the Bernabeu was like this 0 pin drop. You could hear a pin drop. They were so nervous. All you heard was the Juventus fans, the traveling Juventus fans, and I talked to some of them that were at the game, and they said the same thing. And then we had the situation where this referee, he ruined an entire beautiful match with his call with the last 30 seconds of the match. And I know that the popular opinion on this one is against what we believe. We at the table believe, or what we saw. But I think that's also because we have more of a clear head. I mean, I watched the BT Sports commentators. They had like Gerrard and Michael Owen and Rio Ferdinand. The first 5 minutes, all they talked about was how Ronaldo put the ball in the back of the net. They said, oh, look how he takes his shirt off. Look at the finesse of how he puts the ball in the top right corner. They did not question if it was a penalty or if it was not a penalty. They did not even look into it. And that's exactly what the referee did on this call. Dubious. He looked scared out of his mind when Buffon went to confront him, because I think that he did not know what he was doing. And I believe, it's what I think that he made the call because it's Real Madrid. To me, if this happens on the opposite side for Juventus, the call is not given. He was 50-50. He wasn't sure if he saw it, and he gave it one way, and he gave the wrong call.
He was behind the play, the ref?
Yes.
The ref was completely
Well,
behind
what happened
the
with the sideline man then?
The thing is, he didn't consult with him
went,
immediately.
of course
Immediately,
not.
once Vasquez fell, he gave the penalty.
That's
and he gave Buffon a red card for apparently talking back.
To the people that
how can Buffon get a straight red? He must have just cursed him out.
Maybe.
For Buffon to get mad like that, I don't know any other time that
you can get a
Buffon.
yellow, give him a yellow, but not a straight red. A straight red is when you're butchering somebody. Yeah, it's the most natural thing to do in a game like that, on a situation like that, when you're 15 seconds away from going overtime. It's to at least give her a yellow, but not a red. He must have said something real nasty.
But before, one second. Before everybody goes in the comments right now and starts commenting, it was a penalty. How about look at the picture that's on the screen right now? You can clearly see, if you want to, if you open your mind up and want to see what it is, Benatia touches the ball first. you see the ball pop up. We can't show the video. We'll show an image. You could Google it. The Italian TV had the slow-mo. The other one's the American one. You don't see. They don't go back and look. They say it's a penalty.
The thing is, there's so many different angles too.
Anyway,
Marco, in a situation like this, the defender is always going to be given the benefits of the doubt, because defensive player, the defender they're supposed to be given the benefits of the doubt for just being a little bit on the rough side. You don't just don't give a penalty just because it's you're playing home or because you're Real Madrid. So I saw the replay and I saw the stuff. For me, it's not even a question if it's a penalty. That's not even a call.
But for us to even contemplate thinking about it, the ref was behind both players, and he didn't even consult with anyone else. And saying it straight, last 30 seconds of the game to go to the semifinals of the Champions League, that's really ridiculous. That's ridiculous.
I know you're gonna comment on what the player said, which is perfect. Yeah, go. Say what you're gonna say.
No, you were saying before what did Buffon must have said to get a straight red card. So I heard the interview from Buffon after the game, and he said, no matter what I said to him, he says, I don't deserve a red card. Mm-hmm. I mean, I am the captain. I'm allowed to talk to the referee, and no matter what I said, how can you give me a straight red card? The English media, and this is what you told me, the English media said giving Buffon a red card is like shooting Bambi.
Oh, yeah.
The movie,
yeah.
Bambi, yeah.
The movie, if you shoot Bambi. So this is just, and this was the English media.
Buffon doesn't strike me like somebody that is really nasty. No, I don't remember him ever being nasty in any situation.
Do you know what he said after the game?
Protesting a little bit, but not being real nasty. I don't remember any.
Anto, I've never seen Buffon do something like what he did after the game.
What did he do?
You know all this politically. Allegri went on
to shake the hands of the ref.
No. Allegri went on camera. Agnelli went on camera. Nobody said anything. They said what you would expect them to say. Buffon, who always goes down that route of never saying anything, he went off on the referee. He said, as a referee, you need to realize what you're doing. If you can't handle the situation, go up to the stands, go with your wife, eat some chips, drink some Coca-Cola. You don't belong on the field. Tonight, he didn't know shit, and he cursed on camera. And he said, the referee was not a man. This is what animals do. This isn't what men do. He's got the logic of a garbage can. And he said a lot of other stuff afterwards, too. Buffon against the referee, and this is someone who never always just takes the high road. Oh, it happens. It was an outrageous call. Benatti after the match said something similar. He said the Real Madrid are already great. They don't need any more help. And he said, listen, Pjanic went on. He said vergogna on his Instagram, a disgrace to what happened. And Chiellini, when this happened, he looked at the Real Madrid players and he says, you pay on camera. Chiellini's probably going to have some kind of fine or something thrown at him. After the video replay.
For what? For telling the truth? They probably paid the guy. In a situation like that, you 3-0. I mean 2-0. I mean 3-0. You're going to go overtime, and then you're taking your chance over there. You can go either way. Obviously, the game was given thrown to them. Not on a penalty. You don't win on a penalty.
Chiellini was probably upset in that particular moment. Let's not go into that. A few other things that Buffon says about the referee. He thought that he did not have the character, the sensibility to ref this game. On a game of this level, you're playing Real Madrid, one of the most historic teams. It's a great game. It's a comeback, and it's historic comeback. I mean, how many teams have won 3-0 in the
Bernabeu?
At the Bernabeu. I mean, if you go back, I don't think any team has beaten. So they were winning 3-0, and you got 30 seconds to go. At that point, the referee has to make a big decision, and you need a character, somebody that has a lot of experience to make this decision. If you're not 100% sure that this is a penalty, and from what I read and from what the comments are saying, a lot of people are saying it was a penalty. A lot of people are saying it was not a penalty. So any doubt that you have, you shouldn't have called a penalty.
You got to be 100%
now,
sure.
you could say, well, the referee did not have any doubt. It was, you know, first of all, from where you are, from where he was, he could not see it because he was in front of the player. And if you see the action from in front of the player, it's very difficult. I thought it was penalty too. But when they show it from where Buffon was looking, you know, profile, the Benatia's body never touched the body.
It was just his leg on the ball.
It was the leg on his ball, but his body never touched the back of the player. I mean, you could see. You could. I mean, he went like this.
Yeah, he had his hand on him,
and it took him out right away. Which was he didn't go down on that time.
It was not this.
No. He went like this, and he went like that, and then you could see on the picture. They froze the picture, and you could see that there was. You could still see the grass on the other side of both of them. So there was.
Yeah, there was clearance between the two of them.
There was clearance between them. So,
oh boy!
I mean, you need on a situation like that, you need to be 100% sure. And if there was any doubt, then the other thing that he did is, first of all, if it was a penalty, Benatia had a yellow card. He should have been out of the game. Why didn't he throw him out of the game? If it is a penalty. And
you have to give him a yellow, which was the second yellow.
It was the second yellow. So he should have been. Benatia should have been. So he didn't throw out Benatia. He made the wrong call on the penalty.
Buffon
he gave a red card to Buffon. I mean, a gentleman of one of the best players,
well-behaved
player of all time. A gentleman, sportsmanship, everything that you can say. The guy is human. He's a human. He gets upset. I mean, the guy in the last 20 years, I've never seen this guy so upset.
I would be upset. I mean, there could be chance to go to the final and win a Champions League.
But it's natural to be upset. You're a human. You're going to get upset. So even if you say an extra word, at that point, the referee has to show enough character, enough sensibility, because not to give him, you want to give him a yellow card, give him a yellow, but don't give him a straight red card. I mean, he lost. The referee lost total control of the game.
Was the fourth man? Was the fourth man, the guy on the sideline, ever involved? Did he ever go and talk to the ref?
Not that we could tell. Not that we could tell.
From what we saw, no.
Unless it was an earpiece or something, he called it immediately as soon as he fell.
Listen, if all you have, I see how people see a penalty right away. You know, there's a lot of people out there who have a platform who are calling this a penalty right away without really digging in and looking. And I see, like you said, in real time, though, I did see, the first thing I saw was Benatia's foot hit the ball. Because to me, I saw the ball pop up and I thought it was strange. And then even when we were checking the replay, I said, guys, I think Benatia hit the ball. And then once we saw the super slow-mo, you see Benatia, the ball pop up. So obviously it hit his hand. Okay, now we're looking at super slow-mo and there's no VAR in Europe, which number one is already ridiculous. And Agnelli was upset at that. Listen, if you have doubt, I think what he said, if you have doubt with the last 15 seconds of a match that was 3-0,
don't call it.
It doesn't. I know people are going to say, doesn't matter what time it does. But if you are not sure, yes, it does matter. It does matter.
That's a proper rule, though.
If you're not positive, the rule is
you don't
call it. You need to be certain.
Marco, this guy here, he felt the pressure that he was in Madrid at the Bernabeu. He had to call him, whether it was right or wrong. He felt all the pressure of the Bernabeu falling on him. I said, if I don't call the penalty, I'm not going to come out alive of the game.
That I agree with.
Exactly. I agree with that.
I don't agree with with what Chiellini says.
No,
I think I agree. I mean, if you make a mistake with another team, it's not that big of a deal. But if you make a mistake with Real Madrid, there's going to be big consequences after that. And I think he probably felt the pressure of making the wrong call.
Exactly. That's my whole point is that. And my point is that people nobody will push back on this. Nobody except us at this table who could say something will actually say, oh, actually it wasn't a penalty. Let's not just agree with what everyone else already thinks and look into it and look at Ronaldo taking off his shirt, who did nothing the entire game.
That guy was diving every time.
It was disgusting the way that they played. The way that they played, the example that they set is not the example that I would like to see. But anyway, I don't want the beauty of what Juventus did last night to be overshadowed by the cowardness of this referee, because what we saw from Juventus was beauty. Well, they did so amazing. They didn't deserve what happened to them. Of course, it could have been better. We could always look back at the first leg and say, look at that. When it was 2-0 and Ronaldo scored that goal, the fans are applauding, and there was the give up moment. It was bad. And then, you know, there was all drama with Sergio Ramos, who was down. Sergio Ramos was on the field, and he was suspended. He wasn't supposed to be down at the bench. He was supposed to be up in Tribuna, and he was down there, and then Allegri went and screamed at him.
Yeah, they were screaming at each other.
There was a whole craziness. I just want to say a few more things about the referee, and then we'll move on. This is the same referee who made a big mistake. Poland versus Nigeria 2 weeks ago. There was a ball that crossed the line, and he didn't call it. This was 2 weeks ago.
But on a friendly, right?
Yeah. I think Polish media was posting it. This referee is also the same referee. There's a big clip going around of Joe Hart headbutting this referee. Not headbutting, like his head. He pushed into him, and he didn't give him a red card. And they're saying, how do you... There was an image of Buffon, who's got his hands like this, like looking at him, and then Hart with his head touching the same referee's head, and he didn't give him a card. So I think a lot of those factors of being nervous, oh my God, am I not going to give a penalty to Real Madrid and then look back and it was a penalty? Let me just give it because it's not as big of a deal, because listen, a Serie A club, who's going to really go crazy if Juventus gets screwed, right?
That's the point I was trying to make before. You know what? Not only the pressure of the game, being on the game, being in Real Madrid and Juventus catching up with them, it was the pressure that we do not exert and more respected the way we used to. Serie A before was the best campionato ever in the entire world. Everybody wanted to come and play in Italy, not in England or Spain or France or Germany. We had the best one, and now we've been relegated to be one of the worst. No, I mean, we have the really just lure some of the best superstars to come and play with in the Campionato Italiano. We lost our edge when it comes down to being respected as a league, and that's what I think it factor into the fact that this guy
100%.
Here, he didn't make the call for that he was supposed to make.
I 100% agree with you. And being outside of the bubble that we live in over here, if you just check the internet, if you check the comments on some of our posts on Instagram, where the people who are not Serie A fans were jumping in, because there was a beautiful moment this week where you're saying how low Serie A is, and what Roma did, and we're going to talk about, and what Juventus did. Look at that. You're saying how low, how disrespected. But two of the greatest teams were, it's hard to say schooled now at the moment, but they really were for what happened. And it was a beautiful moment between a lot of and I want to give credit to the Milan, Roma, Inter, Napoli, Lazio, Sampdoria fans, everybody supporting each other this weekend and going against what everyone else wants you to do. You see on the internet, everybody saying, don't support each other, don't support each other. We need to support each other.
Absolutely
and I
wrong.
want to give credit to all those fans who were supporting Juventus and Roma, even if they're not your team. You pushed against the edge. You didn't just do what everyone else wanted. And I hope all Roma and Juve fans, you pay back once it's their turn to be in Europe. We all support each other, and we'll get into that a little bit.
But that is the only thing to do and the right thing to do. You know how much I don't like Buffon, and not that I don't like it the way. I don't like the idea that he's still, been called to play on the national team when you have youngster. But as a gentleman, as a person, as a goalkeeper, and as a representative of an Italian team, you have to just, go and tip your hat to what he did, to what his career was, and to being a correct player, is one of the most correct player I ever seen playing. He's the only one going, greeting the ref and the players and the upset team, win or lose. I always saw him just do the right thing. For today, to getting a straight red, something must have happened that we don't know. We're probably never going to know.
He always takes the high road, and it was very strange to see Buffon, of all players, doing that. But one last thing, this ex-Paraguayan player, or maybe still plays on Paraguay, he tweeted out Juventus were kicked out by the mafia of football in regards to Real Madrid. So a lot of fans, just people on different perspectives. We also saw Vidal, who was watching.
You can't say that.
This is what the guy said. I didn't say it.
Okay, but that's you shouldn't say that. Anyway, but to me, it was clear that the referee at the end, he lost control of the game. I mean, there's just too many things that happened in this last 30 seconds, which shows that he did not have it to ref this game. And it was not just a penalty. Like I said, Benatia, if it was a penalty, should have been out. Yeah. Buffon should have never been getting a red card. I want to tell you what Allegri says. Allegri said I don't usually criticize the ref. You know, my players, I'd rather talk about the game. The players played like 60 minutes the last game, and on this game they did play a great game. About Ramos that was sitting there, he went to talk to Ramos because Ramos was yelling that it was a clear penalty. So he went over and says, well, I don't think it's that clear. And also, if you go back and you look at Cuadrado in the last few seconds of the game, I mean, Cuadrado was going 1-on-1 with the keeper, and the guy came from behind and hit him on the legs.
This is the first leg he's talking about.
The first game, yeah. The last few seconds. The last few seconds.
Yeah.
I mean, and that should have been a penalty. So he says, you know, if you want to talk about it, let's talk about what happened to Cuadrado too. So that's
absolutely
that's the exchange that went between Allegri and Ramos. Chiellini after the game says that we have to accept what happened on the field. Then there was Benatia. Benatia says it's hurting so much. What happened? I tried not to touch him, and that's why I went with my leg around him so that I would not touch him. I definitely did not touch him with my upper body. Maybe my knee touched him. I'm not sure.
But you're supposed to. That's what you're supposed to do. You're a defender.
It was not. As soon as he saw me, you know, that I was getting close, and I got really close to him, he just dove. That's the only thing was for him to do is dove, and he dove.
Oh,
so that's what Benatia. This is not what I'm saying. This is not what I'm saying. I'm just telling you. I listened to all the comments from the players, Chiellini, Benatia, Buffon, Allegri, the president, and this is what they were saying. That's. I mean, it's really.
It's sad.
It's sad, but like you said. If something came out of these two games, Roma and Juventus, against the two best teams in Spain and probably the two best teams in the world, I mean, you can tell that they played a great game, and if it was not even, I mean, they really did a great show.
Okay, wait, since this is a great point that your father made, Gaetano made, but before this whole thing started, we were saying, oh my God, look at the draw that we got. Oh, we got Barcelona, we got Real Madrid. Listen, this is again, it goes down to the point that we took ourselves down. We put ourselves down too much. We have great players, and we have still a great campionato. It's not easy to play in Italy. Everybody thinks that Italy is it's like a Juventus or Inter, Lazio, and Roma or Napoli. That's not what you think. You can see, big team, tying with Spal, like Juventus, AC Milan getting tied by Benevento, Lazio getting, losing important points, Napoli the same thing. It's a very, very much, we are right there. We are just pretty much evened up. Now, in Spain, you have only Barcelona, Real Madrid, and Atletico. Those are the only three teams. Why? Because they take everybody else out of the game for taking away their best players. But the amount of respect that we have given to those 2-3 teams in the history of the last 20 years, I think has given us some bad negative attitude. But just even on the draw, there's here we go. Oh, Barcelona, I wish we got this one. I wish we got that. If you're gonna win, you're gonna have to go through the best. I mean, the quote unquote the best. Like I said before, in a 2-game situation, this could have been resolved. On a 2-0, maybe it could have been a different game. 3-0, same thing. Look Roma, what they did. Didn't I say that Roma still has a 30-40% chance before even the first leg was played? Barcelona, come on, Messi and this and
yeah, of course. No. I think you're right. And I think that's where the bitterness comes in, because we were so close to having two Italian teams in the semifinals, which would have been something that I can't even remember the last time that we've had two Italian teams this competitive. And a team like Roma, the amount of respect that they earned this week, it went from people saying Roma's going to get smacked 3-0, 4-0, 5-0, 6-0 to now Roma. How that? Messi, what did he do? Messi didn't do anything. Barcelona didn't do anything. I mean, Roma and Di Francesco, came from Sassuolo, like you're saying, even the lower teams. We have some guys who took the attitude, and you always comment on this, about how we take such a defensive approach, and pressured Barcelona in Rome, and went for the win and got the win.
And listen,
it's unbelievable.
Roma did not rob anything to anybody.
If anything, it was the other way from the first game.
Right. So, if anything, the score could have been even more if El Shaarawy put a ball in, if there were a couple other... Schick put the other ball in.
Penalty calls.
Roma
played Barcelona.
I think that Di Francesco did such a tremendous job making the players believe that they were going to... that they had a chance. They had a chance to beat this team. And he prepared them mentally that they were going to win this game. I mean, he really believed it. And I have never seen a team press for 90 minutes. You usually see a team press for 45 minutes, then the second half...
pressing high on the three quarters,
they were pressing
they didn't let Barcelona breathe.
Everywhere. I never seen Barcelona not able to put three passes together. I mean, everywhere they were, in the midfield, high, low, they were right on top of them from behind, hitting them physically. They played a physical game, pushing them around. A couple of times they hit hard, Messi, to let him know, hey, we here. This is not...
You're not going to have a walk on the park today.
And Messi came to midfield to get the ball. Nothing. Wherever he went, he found that were all... It looked like that they were playing like with 13 players. Everywhere the ball was, there was like 3 players.
They were possessed.
Yeah,
Roma were possessed.
3 or 4 players that
amazing.
went and put pressure, and wherever the ball went. So tremendous job by Di Francesco. Tremendous. The players did a great. Dzeko did such a fantastic job. Yeah. I mean, everyone gave the heart to this game, and I really want to congratulate the Roma team for what they did and what they accomplished. This is historic. They won't forget this game. For the next 100 years, and everybody was jumping at the Fontana di Trevi. Even the president, I think, went
in the fountain.
Listen, as much as historic you want to just put it on the plate, we didn't rob anything to anybody, and we haven't won anything so far. So, let's enjoy as much as we can right now. And I think that, when we win the semifinal and we go down to the final, then I will be happier. So for now, Roma says, they didn't accomplish anything. They accomplished just the idea of getting through Barcelona. They did not rob anything.
Why are you saying they didn't rob anything? Who's saying they robbed something?
No, because it's like, we did it impossible. We didn't do it impossible. We played the game the right way, and we won the game. End of the story.
I think that's what, the biggest thing about me for Roma, and we could talk about the formation, which Di Francesco played 3 in the back. I know you don't like 3 in the back in Europe. He did 3 in the back in Europe. He put Schick and Dzeko, who never played together, who I said on the podcast they should try them together. I mean, it's courage. You talk about formation, talk about the player, talk about anything, the tactics. It was the courage from every single Roma player to believe until the final second that they were going to beat Barcelona. And I think that's the biggest thing that Di Francesco brought to this team. In the game before, he said, we have the chance to do the unthinkable. It'll be a miracle, but why can't Roma make it happen? Saying, just because it's a miracle, why are we already putting Roma down?
Listen, in baseball, they said, if you're going to go down, don't go down looking, go down swinging. So, in other words, don't have the pitcher throw the pitch to you, and then you have the bases loaded, and you are on the last inning, and you can still win the game for your team. Don't let the ball go through over the plate without swinging. Then you have nothing but yourself to be upset about it. So Roma didn't do that. So Roma, they went all the way. They did not wait for them to get a chance. They created their chance and they deserve to win. Manolas is a defender. Don't let me remember of something. Manolas is a defender, okay? As much as Mike, he's already enjoying himself. But Manolas didn't belong on the penalty area. Manolas was over there in every corner kick, in every situation that he was not supposed to. He was, if Roma was afraid, Manolas will be kept on the back. But Manolas was there all the time. So that's why I tip my hat to Di Francesco. That was the right attitude and the right coach. And I hope the rest of the coaching staff that we have in Serie A, they're learning from this. Montella is another one. See, Montella, everybody's, oh my God, forget about it. Manchester United, Mourinho. This is the attitude that we are about to shrug from our shoulder. It's over. All the young generation in Italy, it's a lesson that we have learned and that we are teaching at the same time to the players and to the coaching staff.
The new generation is coming.
No, I love that point, and I think every single person, besides the tactics that you could take notes of, Di Francesco has done incredible. I think it's the courage, and I think it's the hunger to go. And I think before we say anything else, because you already mentioned the name Manolas, I think we got to give Michael his moment of fame, because I got to admit to you, besides the goal that Manolas scored, where he looked absolutely possessed, the defending from Manolas was unbelievable. I mean, I've never seen a defender.
Yeah.
I've never seen Manolas play like that. He was everywhere. He was legitimately everywhere. He put his body on the line. He was running a marathon. And then he scored the game-winning goal. Him and Dzeko, to me, I don't want to single anyone out because everyone was unbelievable.
Were the top players.
But Manolas and Dzeko were unbelievable to me. They were the best I've ever seen from Manolas. Ever.
I see Manolas screwing up a few times, but yesterday's game, I'm telling you.
Mike, say something about Manolas. Come on.
He played good. He played incredible. He was possessed. Every attack Barca had, it was him or Fatu knocking it out. But just in general, for Roma, they really played as a unit. Just so proud of how amazing that they're doing. Di Francesco was like bringing in this new mentality that I feel like Roma never had, because they were never big. They were never big historically in the Champions League. And he's bringing something new. This is only their second time, I believe, that they're in the semifinals of the Champions, second or third. And it's just so nice to see right now. And if they get a favorable draw in the semis, they don't even need a favorable draw. They were saying they're going to go to. We were saying they're going to go to Europa League, and now they're in the semifinals of the Champions League.
Guys, I find it hilarious that the one time Manolas played unbelievable, he spoke about Manolas for 5 seconds. I mean, I've heard you say more when he goes against Spal and Benevento.
You guys are always making fun of me, teasing me, Manolas eating feta cheese and all this stuff.
I do it all the time.
Something must have been inside of feta cheese, but I don't know. There must have been something inside.
The moment that Manolas scored, you hear Michael call his dad on the phone. Dad, Manolas did it. He did it.
Listen, great job by Manolas. That's the best game I have seen him play.
He was crying after too.
But
he broke down.
Going back to the three in defense, I mean, he had to take a chance because they had to score 3 goals, so he had to go all out, and he did a very good job with Florenzi on one side, which became a wing going up and down, and Kolarov on the other side, which became a wing going up and down. And those 2 guys, they put pressure, so the pressure was everywhere. So they would have 3 midfielders plus those 2, they have 5. So he did a very good job. But that's one game that you cannot recreate that game too many times. I mean, that's one in the history. But we were talking about you said the last time that you wanted to see Schick and Dzeko playing together.
Yeah.
You said it, or you? Okay, yeah. You said it, and I said, why don't you play the 4-4-2 where you put both of them up on top, and then you said no, that's not going to work out because they both want
they're similar, they're both similar players,
and they won the area, but it worked out. In the first half,
for Dzeko, not for Schick, I feel
Schick was right in the center of the area.
When he hit the header over there, he just could have scored.
Scored, but he was in the right place at the right time. He just didn't score. But
he sacrificed a lot.
But he had his space right in the center of the area when he hit that ball on the side. That could have gone in.
That's true.
So if you play with 2 guys, they can both share. They can, if the guy goes in the middle, the other guy goes a little bit out, and they can share. The guy goes on the side, the other guy goes in the middle. I thought that they did a good job in the first half.
Let me ask you something. Wait, it's an important question. I mean, He's one of my paisani. One of my paisano, Cassano.
Oh my God!
Don't start with that.
Jesus
Cassano
Christ.
was invited by Totti to go to Trigoria. And for Cassano, it was an emotional comeback because, you know, you can go watch the game and, at the stadium and all the stuff. But Cassano going back to Trigoria with Totti, which is the 8th king of Rome. It was the Settler di Roma. He's the 8th. So Cassano goes with Totti to Trigoria. Don't you think as a motivation? And you know,
my God.
You see, those are real champions. Totti does not disrespect people like Cassano. For Totti, Cassano is one of the best midfielder of the world. He was, and he still right now is. Cassano can still play, believe it or not. He didn't want to play, but Cassano, for me, in the history of the game, is one of the best midfielders.
Why don't you sign him for Bari?
Oh, I wish. He doesn't want to do it.
Antonio,
his wife doesn't want to come back from Genova.
Antonio, actually, we put a picture of Totti and Cassano, and we said 2 legends, and everyone was like laughing. It was like, we only see one there. They didn't include
No, the funny
Pirlo was up there. Listen to me. Pirlo, Cassano, and Totti, and Pirlo does not disrespect Cassano. Pirlo knows how much Cassano. He probably learned his job from Cassano.
Gaetano, what do you think of Cassano?
No. What was hilarious is we did a live stream for this, and even when there's a clip, I don't know if it's when they scored the 3rd goal, you were screaming about Cassano, and every comment is like, why does Antonio keep talking about Cassano? He's like, Roma just scored a 3rd goal, and Antonio's he goes, you see Cassano in the stands? Cassano motivated them. You don't think they look at Cassano?
He went to Trigoria. The guy, listen, everybody said that when Totti talks, everybody, you know, listen. When Cassano talks, everybody listen. He might be talking in Barese and dialect, but everybody understands exactly what he's saying.
That's the problem. Nobody understands.
You know, Cassano doesn't have to talk. He has to make a look.
Say something in Barese.
He has to look at them.
Say something.
Forget about it.
Listen, guys, for those who don't know, Cassano's from Bari. Antonio is from Bari, so that's where the love comes from. And Antonio's got a lot of funny stories about Cassano and Bari that we'll save for another time. But that's where the love comes for Cassano. That's hilarious. I want to read some things that happened after the match. Manolas, we gave everything and proof that if we have the crowd behind us, nobody can beat us. Love that mentality from him. This is a quote from Raja Nainggolan in October, where there was all those Chelsea rumors, all the rumors of him leaving. He said, they asked him, why did I stay at Roma? He said, because winning here would be unforgettable. There's no reason to leave a place like this. And I think in a time where modern football, everybody leaves for the biggest paycheck that they have, Nainggolan is one of the greatest. Doubt his form right now. He is one of the best midfielders that we have in football right now. He had many offers from so many places. He really bleeds Roma. You see him after the game going crazy with the crowd, and I love Nainggolan. I love that he stayed. I think he deserves a lot of credit. The 2 guys who scored own goals in the first leg, Manolas and De Rossi, they both scored the goals in this match. De Rossi on the penalty kick, which credit to him for keeping those nerves down. And then Manolas was on the bench in tears after this match. It just shows how much. Remember we talked about PSG and being motivated by money rather than Roma. Like they're motivated by damn passion. And Pallotta said, we played this game for the city. He's like, we play this for the Serie A, we play this for the city, we play this for ourselves. For everyone who doubted us and said we didn't know what we were doing because Salah left, because Palmieri left, because Rudiger left. He said, you don't know that Salah came up to us and said, I want to leave. He goes, what do I say to someone like that? He goes, but I said, we need to set a nice structure in place. We had Monchi, we had our directors, we had players who wanted to stay at Roma, and that's what we did, and we built off of. And James Pallotta takes so much crap from the Roma fans who wanted him out. James Pallotta is the reason why they're going into the semifinals with the foundation and with this team. And he does it the right way. He is one of the fans. Yes, people criticize him because he doesn't speak Italian, because he's trying to market Roma. That's what you got to do. It's the new age.
It's a business right now. Soccer is about business.
And he's got morals. I love the way that he interviewed after the game, and they said, what do you think about Juventus tomorrow? He said, I wish Juventus luck. He goes, you know who the first person who texted me was? Andrea Agnelli, and said, wow, congratulations. That was incredible.
That's a sportsmanship.
He goes, and then I got messages from other Juventus directors saying the same thing. He goes, it's the Serie A versus the world. He said, we all need to stick together to get Serie A back. He goes, this is not just a win for Roma. This is a win for Serie A. And of course I want Juventus to win. And people will still get mad at James Pallotta for saying something like that. So I give a lot of credit to Pallotta, who in the face of criticism, he still does what he believes. I love that he went into the in the Piazza del Popolo. He went inside the fountain. He got a €475 fine. You know what he paid them in? 265,000 euros.
Wow.
That was his. He said, I'm gonna fix the Pantheon for that. That was his gift back.
That's beautiful.
This guy is a gentleman. He does things the right way. We need more people like James Pallotta in the Serie A.
Again, listen, let me pick up and let's finish up with what you just said about Nainggolan and some of those players like Dzeko. Those people, not only they play in Roma and for Roma, they have a social life, and they love being there, because it's not just about playing in an important team like Roma. The money factor, it is important, but not to the point that those people, they already have money. They choose quality over quantities, because for them 2-3 extra million is not going to make a difference but if they wanted to win it, if they win in Rome, the win will be much a greater win. Yeah. Same thing, Vettel, for example, is another, maybe it's a guy that you guys don't get. Okay, Vettel is the #1 pilot of Ferrari. You know what he said? Because right now we won the first 2 Grand Prix. Winning on another team is great, but winning with Ferrari is the maximum for anybody. Okay, so it takes a lot of courage for people like that. No, see, I do not respect Ibrahimovic, and I do not respect Thiago Silva. I do not respect a lot of people that they left for money reasons.
But that's their personal choice. Who cares?
It's not a personal choice. It has to do. They were winning when they were in their teams. They should have stayed into their teams.
Not everybody's meant to do that. It makes the ones who did even more special, like Nainggolan. And like you said, though, I do like your point about people staying where they belong. And like I always say to all these young kids who all of a sudden start supporting all these guys, I'm a Real Madrid fan, I'm a Barcelona fan. Winning 11 Champions Leagues is equal to 1 for someone who's stuck with their team. Right now, Roma, Inter, Milan, Juve, they're not at that pedigree. So when you stick with your team and you went through these hard times and all these people, there was a tweet that went viral of a kid. I think it was like a Milan fan or an Inter fan, and he like switched to like become a Bayern fan or something, and people got pissed. Listen, when you stick with your team and you grind out those hard times, that's the test of a real fan. That's a test of a real player. And then when you do win, it's going to feel so much better than if you just hopped on the bandwagon. Because any one of us right now could say, I'm going to support Real Madrid right now, and you'll win a Champions League. How good is it going to feel? It's not going to feel as good as even Roma getting into the semifinals like it did last night.
Del Piero is another example for all of those big superstars that they jump from team to team just to get the extra cash. Del Piero went down to Serie B when Juventus was relegated to Serie B, and he stuck with the team, and he finished with the team like a real champion. He just like Buffon and everybody else. He took the high road, and they did the things that were that everybody they will never forget. That's why those people are still icons for the Italian soccer. So I tip my hat to Buffon. I think it should be it will be remembered like one of the greatest goalkeeper of the history of the game. And for him right now, the time is just to quiet it down, go home, reassess, and that's it. Call it quit.
Should he go out on a red card?
Yeah, that's okay. It's done. Yeah, it's probably the best thing that happened to him right now.
Oh my God!
At least he fought. He fought to the end, and he said, "Hey, I didn't go down and say thank you to the ref."
I have a feeling we're gonna see more of Buffon.
I don't know about
It's funny because that's actually something that's coming. Like some people are starting to say that.
Yeah. I mean,
he doesn't want to.
After the great career that he had, to go out on a red card from the Champions League,
hope.
He's cursing out the ref, right?
Yeah.
I agree with you. I would love that, and I want to give credit to Roma's social media team because they've been absolutely killing it. What they're doing is incredible, and I'm happy that they finally getting their credit. Where it's deserved now that all the eyes are on them. I think that this is a big moment And I'm happy that they're getting the youth involved. They're getting all these things because it's so important for Calcio. And I wanted to pass off a question for you. Seeing as what Roma did, the unthinkable, and everyone's like, I didn't even know Roma was actually a competitive team. They're third in Italy. Imagine what Napoli could have done in the Champions League if they really put their minds to it. And what happened with Juve, coming back from 3-0, still impressed so many people. Everyone, while they're giving Real Madrid all the credit, they still do say, I mean, Juventus coming back from 3-0 is incredible. Do you think that this is a moment where Serie A could get some respect, get some, build something to build off of for the future? Or do you think that this is like one of those one-time things and we're down?
Absolutely not. I totally disagree. I think this is.
I'm not saying I didn't say that was my opinion.
I believe that this is a trend that is going to continue for the long run. And,
is this the path?
Absolutely.
What do you think?
I think that these two teams, Roma and Juventus, the last couple of days, they show on an international stage and a world stage what they're capable of doing, and I think they got respect from all over the world. So yeah, it's only good things can come out of this.
I think to say for all of us, I'm extremely, despite how Juventus went out, I'm extremely proud of what the team did. I'm extremely proud that they didn't give up. I'm extremely proud that they were able to come back 3-0 at the Bernabeu. Despite it all, Dybala, I know Sergio Ramos wasn't there for them. Dybala wasn't there for Juventus. I want to give them, I really respect every single player who played their hearts out. And so much respect to Roma. Everyone doubted them. Even we doubted them. We all said that they were not going to come back. Last podcast, we said, is it done? Listen, but I will say that Michael, before the match, did say, he's like, I think Roma's going to pull it off. He didn't give us official prediction, but he did tell me, he said, listen, I got a feeling that Roma's going to pull it off.
Out of the four, I must say, out of the four of us, Mike, I think, was the one that believed the most.
No surprise there, guys.
Come on, Antonio.
Hey, listen,
you did believe, and before the game, you told me 3-0.
Listen, me
Wait,
personally,
yeah, you did say,
me
right?
personally, I thought the Juventus was going to lose 2-1 for the simple reasons that I thought Allegri.
Are you talking about Juventus or Roma?
No, Juventus. I'm not talking about Juventus. Before the game, actually.
Juve should have happened how I said 2-3-0.
I hope I'm very much wrong about this, but I was thinking that maybe Allegri is thinking down the line to go through the Campionato and the Coppa Italia, so at least come back with with something at the end of the season. So and I thought that it was going to play just a safe game over there, just go a good show. But unfortunately, fortunately, I was wrong because I guess Juventus display big character and big guts.
Let's just mention the games coming up this weekend on Serie A. I think there's Lazio.
Well, we got Lazio tomorrow too.
Yeah,
Lazio is playing the Europa.
And
League.
I think Lazio need to take a little bit of a note from Real Madrid and Barcelona that even though they're up,
too complacent. Yeah.
Even though they're up, listen, anything could happen. The other team they got 2 away goals. They got to go to Austria. So let's hope Lazio can continue this. Imagine having 2 Roman teams in the semifinals in Europe. It would be fantastic. So hopefully Lazio are not complacent.
Yeah, derby della Capitale. Lazio versus Roma. It's on Sunday.
It's on Sunday.
Sunday, yeah. So that's gonna be a good.
This is gonna be one of the best derbies,
guys.
This has to be the best derby. And how long?
Right now,
it's gonna be
because
incredible.
the timing,
Yeah.
it is perfect timing.
It's great.
And
Both
who's
in Europe.
Juventus playing?
And Juventus.
Benevento probably.
No.
Juve's playing Sampdoria actually.
Juventus
Sampdoria actually beat them.
Listen.
Right.
Let me ask you a question, the three of you.
Let's go.
I have a question for you. How much do you think the Roma winning yesterday factor into the fact that Juventus went out of there and just played this aggressively?
Probably. Not a lot.
If
but
Roma didn't win, if
Are you
Roma,
crazy?
listen to me, the Roma win of
Motivation.
yesterday was a big motivation for the Juventus to go out of there and just leave it on the field. Because my take on the game from Juventus before we spoke.
Yeah.
It was maybe Allegri's going to go and play safe over there and try to keep all the group together, not having anybody injured themselves because they do not want to, have Napoli catching back to them because they're going to focus on the Campionato and that's it. That will be
I disagree with that.
You disagree? Okay, so
yeah, I think maybe a slight factor was like, wow, Roma actually did this. Anything is possible. It's just that extra. You guys are the most experienced, right? and you always think, you know, that anything could happen in football. But even when we say Roma and Barcelona, it was still like, no.
Right.
You know, so there's that slight reminder like, oh, wow, anything could really happen in football, just like it reminded us once again.
That's exactly what we said. But Juventus went there to win the game and to try to go. What you're saying about thinking about the championship, no, absolutely not. They were thinking about winning that game and going forward.
Too bad.
Too bad, but listen, I know it's on a very sour note, but I do think that there's plenty of positives from
They're
what
living
happened.
with a head up.
This Champions League experience. Can you think about if we go back to the draws and we think about where Roma was? We said Roma was not going to go out through the group stage with Chelsea and Atletico Madrid. They topped the group.
Guys, this is what I'm
They
saying. They won the
was,
Champions League, and we didn't thought they were gonna go to the Europa League.
Do you guys think that Roma? Now it's weird to say. Do they have a chance? Of course they have a chance, but depending on who they get, we got Liverpool, we got Bayern, and we got Real Madrid.
Beatable. All of them. Real
Real
Madrid is beatable.
Okay, who they're gonna get?
Okay.
Forget about the beat. Everybody's beatable.
As long as they don't get body, they got a
they're gonna
chance.
get?
Who do I wish Roma gets?
No, wish.
Who
Who
do
do
you
you
think?
think they're gonna get? Whatever you wish. Who do you-
Both,
I'll take them all. Anyone.
all at the same time.
If you had to pick one, though, Antonio,
If I were to pick one, I
Yeah.
wanted to see a revenge of Roma against
Real Madrid.
and Liverpool too, because Liverpool beat
Wait,
Roma.
Which one? Roma, Liverpool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
That
I want to see
that
Roma
was the-
beating Salah.
that was
Salah.
Exactly.
Roma
Oh.
Liverpool was a final in Rome.
I remember that.
Lidham was the coach.
I remember.
What year?
I remember that game. The game was played in Rome and Roma lost.
It was a UEFA like Coppa UEFA, I believe.
No, it was the Champions League final, Coppa dei Campioni. The year is got to be at least. This was Lidham.
1980.
Lidham
wow.
was the coach.
Wow.
Yeah. Because after that, Lino went to coach AC Milan.
Who do you think for Roma Champions League?
I think they're gonna get Real Madrid.
I hope they get either Real Madrid or Liverpool.
I think they're gonna get Bayern.
Hey, I'm with you, Marco. I'm scared.
Who cares? Who cares who they get it? Who the hell cares?
As long as Casano's in the stands
Oh
motivating
my
them,
God.
and he goes to Trigoria.
Actually, Buffon said he wishes Roma luck and wants them to win the Champions
course.
League.
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely.
He
Who
said
doesn't
that.
want Roma
Yeah, I'm
not
just
to
saying,
win?
you know,
Exactly.
that,
No. There's a lot of people out
you
there
never know.
that are
You'd be
not
surprised.
even
You'd be
Italian and Serie A
surprised.
Oh,
fans.
there are plenty of Italians
Yeah.
that are going against Juventus and going against Rome, of course.
It's not right.
All
So.
the fanatics
Yeah.
that from the curva, they could care less about any Italian teams that do well in Europe.
I think a lot of them, especially online, they try to put on a front like, oh, I don't really care, but in the back of their mind, they do.
Oh, they do.
They would
They
rather,
do, yeah.
but they can't say it out loud.
No.
Otherwise, the people. No, not your
Otherwise,
curva guys.
No,
Not
no,
your
those
curva
guys
guys.
are crazy.
No, those guys. They don't even go to watch the game. You ever see them? They stand backwards. They stand not even watching the
just look at
game.
the
I
Not
heard
those guys.
I heard and I read some of the comments from the guys from Chinatown today.
Yeah, I know.
Oh my God, they have no idea.
No respect,
No,
right?
no respect at all.
I agree with you.
Because they just they're so into their own team.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, you should be proud that an Italian team is doing well in Europe because the whole world is watching. And like you said, it's good for Serie A, it's good for Italy, it's good for
They
everybody.
just want to knock out the
This
I
is how
have
the
another
Germans
question,
built.
guys. I have another question.
Let's go,
How
Antonio.
much do you think Gattuso mentality since he took over AC Milan is factoring into the way Roma?
Can I say negative? Can I go to negative?
Gattuso is the man. Gattuso is the man.
No.
Gennaro is the man.
I think Antonio's onto something.
I think he's losing his mind.
I'm not losing my mind.
about Champions League.
Gattuso, I'm bleeding you AC Milan blood over here, man.
What are you smoking?
What are you talking about?
You know what I think it is? I think it's a combination of Gattuso, what he's done in the league, and Cassano being in the crowd. I think it was
Absolutely.
too much for Roma to handle, and that was their motivation.
I wonder what Gattuso would have done to that referee. He would have been in a coffin.
Definitely.
Gattuso would have never played another game if he was
He'd
on
be
that
in
game.
jail for the rest of his life. What he do to the
He would
ref?
have killed him.
Gattuso, we love you. Okay.
And so would
I love you.
And so would Gattuso.
We love you.
Gattuso would have killed him too.
Oh,
He would've killed
absolutely.
him.
He would, yeah, that referee would.
100%.
That referee would not have to be scared of never coaching a UEFA again. He would have to be scared of never living another life, another day in his life.
Better not to come to Italy for a vacation or for anything like that.
You're gonna find him, right?
Oh,
What if he goes to your town and body?
I want to see what they do now to this referee.
Nah.
If
He
he's
get
ever
suspended or something.
Whatever.
Suspended for
You
how
gotta,
long?
you gotta accept the consequences.
Who's the international? Who's in charge of the international
Who
referees?
knows? Who knows?
Who knows? We wanted to know. I wanted to
All right,
know.
look it up. I don't know. All
Okay,
right.
we need some changes over there.
If anyone doesn't have any last comments, started on a very sour note. We ended up laughing it off. And I think that even the way that Juventus gone out, as bitter as it was, there still was some beauty in it. Like I said, I don't want the cowardness of the referee to really overshadow what Juventus did. And what Juventus achieved in that with those 3 goals was really something incredible. And they deserve all the respect. Anyway, guys, we'll always be back.
Now, before we finish, can you give us give me the matches for next week? So we know Juventus. Roma Lazio is playing, right?
Yeah.
We got Roma, Lazio.
Napoli is playing.
Napoli's playing. Ooh, Milan, Napoli. Ooh, I didn't even see that. That's a good one.
Maybe Gattuso's watching the Roma game. He's going to get motivated, right?
Gattuso doesn't need any motivation from anybody. I think we have Bonucci and Romagnoli out.
Yeah.
I think, right?
What is
Yeah,
the
Bonucci,
score for
Romagnoli.
Milan
I
Napoli?
would say 1-0. I'll take it.
For who?
For Milan. It could be actually 2-0. It could actually be 2-0.
I thought you meant you'll take one goal you concede.
You're kidding me? It could actually be 2-0.
There are 2 types of Milan fans.
Bonucci and Romagnoli are not
So
playing.
what? So what?
Mourinho's gonna be
Your
playing center back.
superstition.
So what? We got Cutrone. We got Cutrone.
Cutrone's a center back.
And Kalinic too.
Kalinic.
Kalinic
He's gonna play center back.
doesn't matter. We got Manolas. We got
There was this tweet.
saw it.
There was this tweet that went around. It said Romagnoli and Bonucci are missing for Milan. Let's just get Kalinic because he screws up every goal scoring opportunity for Milan anyway.
Adama said that.
Listen, a lot of people are laughing off this stuff here. Watch you don't get a big surprise Sunday.
All right, guys. As always, thank you so much for watching. And what do they got to do?
Guys, please rate the podcast and the tape is out, right? That's it.
It's good. It's good. We got the audio. Let's go.
No matter. See you guys. Ciao.